Hello, we are the consultant team that's hired on by Community Action to help this nonprofit. I'm Clara Stokes, Charlotte Newth, Taylor Haroldson, and Nisi Delange will be speaking as well. Community Action helps its community immensely with providing them services to help support and steps to better living. Many services are offered, including education, the food pantry and the food bank, emergency housing services, and much more. With a possible upcoming budget cut, we want to be sure that we have the resources to continue these services for our communities and that we have steps to build and grow Community Action as well. And so we've created some top priorities that we want to go over with you. Our top priorities that we want to focus on to help further community action and benefit the community is we are going to look at the budget cut. This includes going over the past budget and seeing how that would look for 2021. We want to look at new fundraising opportunities and an increase in fundraising to help implement any funding that is going to be cut. And we're also going to look at a new strategic plan with a new logic model to support that.
Community Action and Food Bank revenue and support decreased from 2018 to 2019. To help increase the revenue for 2021, our team suggests forming a strategic plan to analyze why the revenue and support decreased from 2018 to 2019. The plan will focus on increasing the revenue for 2021 and applying for new grants. Applying for new grants can increase the revenue for 2021 by 5%. The food bank is the program with the largest expenses at the agency. Most of its expenses are due to food-in-kind donations to the community. Our team suggests more fundraising to increase food-in-kind donations by the community. The agency can increase its revenue by 5% by organizing strategic fundraising activities that will keep the community donating and involved with the agency's mission to end poverty. The purpose of Community Action is to establish, operate, and coordinate Community Action 6 programs in order to prevent, alleviate poverty and its causes. The nonprofit cooperates with other organizations to secure fundings and create a budget to keep every program functioning effectively to serve the community. The nonprofit is composed of 6 different programs, each with its own expenses. The programs are Family Development, Food Bank, Housing and Counseling, Education and Advocacy, the Arrive program, and the Circles program. Each program expenses include salary, benefits, travel, supplies, repairs, communication, depreciation, food in kind, and other expenses. The total expenses, including management, fundraising, and development, it's over $8 million. The goal is to help Community Action budget its revenue to effectively allocate its resources. Community Action spent $975,667 in salaries in 2018-2019. Our team suggests a 5% budget cut for personnel for 2021. The agency can use more volunteers from the community to help with operations and activities. Our team also suggested a budget cut of 5% for communications. The Arrive Utah program alone is spent $17,222 in communications in 2019. We suggest using social media and other forms of communications to save money in 2021. The total budget cut would be of $49,644.45 for the budget in 2021.
The next proposed change we have for the board is fundraising strategies. As my colleague mentioned earlier in the presentation of the budget, we propose to the board that there is a significant increase in strategic fundraising opportunities in hopes to see a revenue increase by 5%. By increasing fundraising opportunities, we are not only providing more revenue for the organization, but also increasing community awareness, potential volunteer efforts, and natural marketing for the agency. All of this considered, we feel that the board would see a steady flow of donations and community engagement that would help align with the mission of ending poverty in the Greater Salt Lake community. Below are a few examples of fundraising that we feel the agency could implement easily and would provide the best results. The agency will be suggested to host 2 large benefits per year in order to promote more community involvement, as well as receive large quantities of donations from irregular donors, as well as provide education to the community on services provided by the Community Action Organization. One idea of this would be a large event around the holidays that was held at the organization's office or within a large community center. Entry to this event would be $25, and for every item of clothing or canned food they bring in, they are given a raffle ticket to win high-end prizes donated by local businesses. This event would not only generate large amounts of monetary donations, but would also provide a substantial amount of food and clothing donations. By having the prizes be those from local businesses, we are also becoming community partner, which will help provide strong relations within the community for future events and opportunities. The second event proposed to the agency could be in the summer. This event would be a more casual setting, but the purpose would be to thank and recognize large annual donors. This event could be family-friendly and perhaps have field and yard games with the volunteers and employees from the organization. This would provide a sense of cohesiveness and a strong rapport with the donors and hopes to provide them with the gratitude and solidify future donations. An annual giving campaign could be held once a year to help raise funding and provide awareness to the agency and social causes we would like to educate the community on. An example of this could be grocery donations throughout the holiday season. At participating stores and locations, community members can choose to add a dollar amount to their grocery total to donate direct funds and food to the food bank organization through Community Action. A great way to bring community awareness for the organization is forms of solicitation throughout the year. This can happen in both businesses and residential areas within the Greater Salt Lake and surrounding communities. These solicitations could both increase volunteer statuses as well as donations on a consistent basis. 2 forms of solicitations that we suggest for the agency is direct mail solicitations as well as face-to-face solicitations. We strongly feel that if implemented, the above fundraising plans could greatly increase the revenue of Community Action and even further increase donations to its largest program, the food bank.
Our team is recommending to Community Action Center and the board the implementation of a strategic plan, as it will give your agency direction and advance the mission statement. Our recommended 10-step strategy change cycle is outlined in the next 5 slides and addresses steps the board should consider. The first step is initiating and agree on strategic planning and focuses on gathering support from stakeholders, internal and external decision makers to agree on the strategic plan. Identifying organizational mandates focuses on aligning the mission statement with external mandates. Clarifying organizational mission and values emphasizes that the mission statement and values held by your organization reflect changes happening in the community. Assessing the organization's external and internal environments centers on inputs, process, and outcomes, which will be addressed in the logic model. Identifying the strategic issues facing the organization focuses on internal and external policies that directly impact the agency. Formulating strategies and plans to manage the issue and addresses necessary changes to improve functioning, resources provided, funding requirements, and advance the mission statement. Reviewing and adopting the strategies and plan relies on the support of stakeholders for implementing the strategic plan. Next, establishing an effective organizational vision in increasing food bank donations, increased funding, and increased volunteering, and is also addressed in the logic model. Developing an effective implementation process focuses on support from stakeholders to move forward with the strategic plan outlined in the logic model. Finally, step 10 is reassessing strategies, and the strategic planning process emphasizes the importance of continual review of the strategic plan to ensure its effectiveness and to correct any issues that are present. Our team recommends a logic model be implemented, which was addressed in step 5 of the change cycle strategic plan. The goal of the logic model is to see increased funding from donors and grants, volunteering, and an increase of food donations by 10% in the next year. The logic model consists of 4 steps: inputs, activities, outputs, and outcomes that the agency would like to see. The most important input the agency should adopt is seeking out new funding. Certain activities our team recommends is increasing volunteering positions, finding new donors for the food bank, and hosting donor events to increase donations. The outputs we would like to see is increased funding, increased donations to the food bank, while advancing the mission statement. The desired outcome is the goal listed, as we hope to see increased funding through grants and donors, increased volunteering by 10%, and increase of food donations by 10% in the next year.
Coming back to what our top priorities are, if we focus on the budget cuts, increasing fundraising, implementing new strategic plan and a logic model, this can greatly help benefit community action to continue services that we are providing to our community and to build a base that we can grow and continue to grow, and that we will not be worrying about budget cuts in the future. And as time comes, we will have the resources and we will be prepared for any future possible budget cuts or uncertainties.